And welcome. This is the January 10th, 2023 regular City Council meeting of the City of Rockport. We ask you to join us in the Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilperson Hale.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Item number 3 on our agenda is to declare Year of Women's Club of Aransas County. I want to read this proclamation from here, then I'll stand up and present it to y'all. If I wander around, I figured out that nobody can hear me because I don't get close enough to a microphone. So I'll do it from here, and then we'll get together. Whereas the Women's Club of Aransas County was formed in the city of Rockport in 1948, which was a good year, I'd like to point out. And whereas in 1956, the club founded the Aransas County Library with the help of the community to fulfill the need for proper reading materials to aid in the literacy of our children. And whereas the club sponsored the Girl Scouts on both a local and district level. And whereas the club opened its doors to FEMA and TWIA TWIA as a headquarters in the aftermath of Hurricane Harvey. And whereas the club continues to be a respite for all who love to play canasta, bridge, or mahjong to raise money to provide scholarships for the young women of Aransas County. And whereas the club is celebrating its 75th anniversary in 2023. Now therefore, I, Tim J. Rowe, Mayor of the City of Rockport, do proclaim 2023 as the Year of the Women's Club of Aransas County in the City of Rockport, Texas, in witness whereof I hereby set my hand and cause the Great Seal of the City of Rockport, Texas, to be affixed this the 10th day of January 2023. If any of you ladies or all of you would like to meet me up here, we'll present this to you, and Mike will take pictures, and we'll get together and read it. We'll all stand right back over here close to this wall. Some of you get on this side over here. Here's your test. Which one is not one? Right. These things are always enjoyable. We also, the next item on the agenda, number 4, is presentation of a certificate to one of our own. Kimberly A. Sampson Henry is the assistant to the city manager and a valued employee and a great person to work with here at City Hall, and we admire the work she does. She's very important to us, and she makes things for a lot of us a lot simpler than they might otherwise have been if she weren't here. We have a certificate from the state of Texas. The state of Texas, by the authority of the state of Texas and Texas State University, the William P. Hobby Center for Public Service of Texas State University hereby confers upon Kimberly A. Sampson Henry the designation of Certified Public Manager, together with all the rights, privileges, and honors appertaining thereto on this, the 12th day of December 2022 at Austin, Texas. Thank you so much, Kimberly. We appreciate you. I took this away from her shoulder. I promised I would give it back.
He did. He made me study.
Item 5 on the agenda is citizens to be heard. For your information, item number 10 on the agenda has been withdrawn and will not be discussed or worked on tonight at all. If you do want to speak on that item, you're still welcome to. Be glad for you to do that. Other than that, I have cards. Brad, you want to read yours first? Let me read the citation. I haven't got around to reading all that thing yet.
Oh, go ahead.
All right, citizens to be heard. At this time, comments limited to 3 minutes will be taken from the audience from persons who have signed the speaker's card located on the table in the back of the training room of the service center and delivered to the city secretary before the meeting begins, or written comments received by 4 p.m. on the day of the meeting on any agenda item or on any subject matter will be read and summarized in the minutes of the meeting. Persons wishing to address the council and who have registered using the citizen participation form will have up to 3 minutes to speak. In accordance with the Open Meetings Act, council may not discuss or take any action on any item that has not been posted on the agenda. While civil public criticism is not prohibited, disorderly conduct or disturbance of the peace as prohibited by law will be cause for the chair to terminate the offender's right to speak. Brad has written a note.
This Patrick Kane, 1123 East Cedar Street, Rockport, Texas. Agenda item number 5. Yesterday, the city posted a notice for a retreat to be held in 2 days. The agenda shows clear intent to shield council discussions from the public and excludes citizen participation. Why do I make this statement? First, the meeting is 3 hours away in Bastrop. Second, the meeting is at 9 a.m. when many people are unable to attend. Third, the city isn't providing a YouTube live feed. Fourth, and most important, there isn't a single item on the agenda that merits conducting Rockport business anywhere other than Rockport. Discussions about solid waste services and public utilities clearly don't need to be held in Bastrop, nor does an hour-long webinar streamed by the Texas Municipal League. The only agenda item remaining is discussion of the final report of the Charter Review Commission. Given it would be a major deal to change the city charter, you'd think council would want to discuss this topic in front of its citizens. However, the last Charter Review Commission meeting made clear why you don't want it to do so. At that meeting, Commissioner Doug Webb made several interesting statements, which include, I doubt that any of us commissioners completely understand all we have voted on. Overall, my concern is that the city staff has been given more authority than before, and they're taking these rights away from the city council and the public. It appears that many changes take important information away from being presented to council members. Every council member should be able to track every dollar spent by each department and transfer fund every dollar. I really think it would, I really feel like that my job was to protect the citizens and give them their rights, and I don't think that I have done my job well. I think that we all should look at this again. Despite being outvoted by other commissioners, it is clear Mr. Webb had serious concerns with the changes being proposed. Given his statements, I would agree more work is needed to protect. That's the answer.
I have a card from Kristie Rutledge at 1411 Dana Drive concerning investment policy. Kristie.
Thank you, Mayor and City Council. I'm here to speak on citizens to be heard, but I'm also asking that you pull item number 7, investment policy, off of the consent agenda and bring that out for discussion. As Patrick Kane's comments were just entered into the record, I attended all of the Charter Review Commission meetings. Commissioner Doug Webb, at the very last meeting, expressed concern, and he didn't just do it once, he did it 3 times. And he is very concerned that the financial transparency has been removed through the city charter recommendations. Now, I'm really concerned to see an investment policy on your consent agenda. I want to bring up several reasons for that. Your city ordinance, your city charter requires an investment policy by ordinance. One of the recommended changes is to change it to a policy. So for that reason alone, this item should be pulled for discussion tonight. Number 2, The investment policy that you have in the agenda packet for tonight has RBC Capital on there as a bond person. Let me just tell you, there's a case out of Amarillo, Alex Fairley versus the city of Amarillo. They passed tax notes after a failed bond election and a petition, and that was ruled recently to be unconstitutional because there was no disclosure of a tax increase and there was no public hearing of a tax increase. Bob Henderson, your current financial advisor, listed in your investment policy today, has passed tax notes twice since 2020. Both of those tax notes had backloaded payments and and that deferred the tax increase, which meant the city didn't have to disclose the tax increase. So it pretty much parallels the case Fairley versus the city of Amarillo, which was decided in the favor of the taxpayers. That's number two. And number three, I have been trying to find out, along with other citizens, the status of investment accounts, unspent bond money, because every time new bonds are taken out, we say, what about the unspent bond money? Now, I have emails, I'm gonna leave here, but there's over $6 million, $6.4 million listed in the investment report for unspent bond money. But back last January and February, your city financial director only disclosed $4.2 million available. Of that $4.2 million, 2.6 was American Recovery Plan money. So we have some unspent bond money here. We've got investment reports that do not tie back to unspent bonds, and every year we get a request for new bonds, and that's coming soon.
Matt Anderson, 220 Wishart Road. Yes, sir.
Pertaining to item 10 that was removed, the RV park?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I don't think I need to speak if it's been removed. I'll save you some time, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. Appreciate it, Mr. Anderson. Mr. Estrada, you're wishing to speak on the items about closing alleyways and so forth. There will be an executive session after a while. We'll be reviewing that, and you'll have an opportunity to talk with the council directly during that time if you'd like to, or you can speak now. There he is.
I think Mr. Estrada would like to speak to y'all during the executive session.
Okay, and that's fine. I was looking for you and didn't recognize you. I'm sorry. All right. Next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. All consent agenda items listed are considered to be routine by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered at its normal sequence on the agenda. Do we have any desire to remove any of the agenda items from the consent agenda?
Mayor, I'll pull item number 7.
For discussion.
All right, number 7 will be approved and come up on the next item on the agenda. Anything else off the consent agenda?
We need to make a motion to approve the consent agenda, except for item number 7.
Second.
Have a motion and second. Any further discussion or debate?
There was a correction to the minutes that were submitted. The minutes from December 13, I believe it was item number 26, Teresa. Right, but it's not in the agenda packet, so I want to make sure that that's in the record. So item number 26 from those minutes indicated that essentially I gave a first and a second. It was supposed to be Mayor Pro Tem Hatman for the first and Hale for the second, and that's the only correction.
All right. Anything else? Going to call for a vote on motion second. Ward 1?
Aye.
Ward 2?
Aye.
Ward 3?
Aye.
Ward 4?
Aye.
Mayor, aye. Next item on the agenda is item number 7, which has just been removed for discussion. Yes, sir.
Is there any changes to the investment policy from last year?
To the policy itself, no, sir, there's none. The only change that we do have is to Exhibit E, and we have added Hilltop Securities incorporated so that we have another option and another brokerage firm in which we have the ability to reach out to if and when we have the desire or the need to do any type of financing or refinancing. In addition, they do provide opportunities for us to use them to purchase CDs, rather than currently the only place that we can purchase CDs through is Wells Fargo. Adding Hilltop gives us an opportunity to be more competitive with our CD purchases.
Okay. Thank you.
Further questions? Comments? If not, do I have a motion?
Motion to approve agenda item as presented. I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion or debate? Call for a vote. Ward 1,
Aye.
Ward 2,
Aye.
Ward 3,
Aye.
Ward 4.
Aye.
Mayor, aye. Item number 10 has been removed from the agenda, will not be discussed or handled in any fashion whatsoever. All right. Item number 11, this comes from our police chief. This is second reading on ordinance dealing with neighborhood vehicles, golf carts, and so forth. Deliberate and act on second final reading of an ordinance revising and amending the City of Rockport Code of Ordinances, Chapter 98 of the Code of Ordinances, City of Rockport, Article 1 in general, Section 98-2, definitions, Article 6, golf carts, neighborhood electric vehicles, repealing all ordinances to the extent that they are in conflict and providing for severability and providing for an effective date. Have there been any changes since first reading?
No changes, Mayor.
Have any further questions on this subject matter?
Chief, I think I brought it up last time. Still have an issue with the no more than 21 per 2,500 is, and that's still in there. I don't want to burden the city, obviously, with trying to track the 20 whatever, how many vendors it may end up being, but I also don't want us to be picking winners and losers and limiting how many we can do. Do you see an issue with removing that part of just saying, I guess what I'm saying is if the market's not there for the vendor to sustain himself, then they're probably not going to remain a vendor for very long.
My only concern with it is that if you have, is that the variance in the market, if all of a sudden I have, 3, 4 more jump on, and then, some come off of this end, and then so you have this fluctuation of ones coming and going, as opposed to having that more consistent level that grows. And if one decides to get off, it makes room for another. It's much like we do the wrecker ordinance. I can tell you that if we don't have that clause in there, I still think the way the ordinance is written, it still allows me the ability to approve them for what's in the best interest of the police department, the citizens, the city. Anyway, that just gives me sort of a go-by, and then it's not just left up to me. We have an ordinance that backs me up on that decision, if that makes sense.
So there is the ability. Sorry, I didn't catch that in there, but there is the ability for you to approve more than say 2,500. So we got what that give us 4 vendors. 5?
It'd give us 4 right now, and really, actually, since our population is more than 10,000, it would allow us to do 5 right now. And to me, I think that's my professional opinion. That's enough. We can manage that easily without adding staff or anything. But if I had, 5 more all of a sudden want to join on because they come to town and they see a great opportunity, what they perceive as a great opportunity, and I don't have the ordinance for me to be able to make an easy decision that's not it's more objective than subjective. Then all of a sudden you got a lot of people doing it, and the ones that have been doing a great job all along bail out of it, and I've got unproven ones, and And then we move along, and I got some more that come on, and more that, and now I've got this fluid deal, and I've got to teach new people, no, here's the form you have to use, here's the process, where I've got this consistent level that the citizens can depend on. That's what I'm really looking for, and I think what the public's looking for as well.
If we move forward with this one, maybe get some feedback in 6 months or so, just, you know, if we think that that's not enough or we need more.
Absolutely.
Or whatever a target point you think we need, 6 months, a year, whatever.
Absolutely. If we get to a point to where we have like more golf carts coming in and there's too much compression with the number that we have, or we get people that come in and want to open a business and the ordinance doesn't allow them, we can always make a change to the ordinance. Again, nothing holds us into that. It's our ordinance, it's y'all's ordinance.
Yes, sir.
It's not hard to make a change to it.
I didn't want to limit somebody's ability to come in and create a business or something like that, let the market decide, but I get you on that. Don't want to have too many, be a burden. Gotcha.
Any further questions? Do I have a motion?
I'll move to approve item 11 as presented.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion or debate? Call for vote. Ward 1?
Aye.
Ward 2?
Aye.
Ward 3?
Aye.
Ward 4?
Aye.
Mayor? Aye. All right. Reports from council.
Oh, me first.
Quiet month right now. The women's club all left, but they're in my ward and I'm pretty damn proud of them. They're going to have all kinds of events all through the year, so please support them. 75 years is a long time. Which leads me to the VFW, which has been around 79 years. We do have a option coming up here real quick. There's a meeting on January 26th. We're gonna start Friends of Post 3904, and the only requirement is that you're breathing.
Are you looking at someone?
No, over there.
Okay.
What we're looking for is we're looking for people to help us in various ways. So if you've got a talent or you can sweep, I mean, we need help, especially once we get bingo up and running, hopefully next month. And other than that, Ward 1's been pretty quiet.
Thank you. Ward 2?
Thank you. We've had a pretty good month, or last few weeks rather. Starting on December 26th, we had a group of citizens that from my ward that had expressed interest in kind of fleshing out a conditional use permit application that had been submitted that we would have considered tonight. The reason I really want to bring this up is I was just enthusiastic about the input received. We had 23 residents from Ward 2 and around that area that came to that meeting. Of course, right off the holidays, it's tough on everybody, but they were all very engaged, informed, and appreciated their input. So that was a really great opportunity for the ward residents to come together and talk about issues that impact them. Moving on, Mayor sits on the Stormwater Floodplain Management Advisory Committee. I join as the alternate. I think the big takeaway I got from that was the intent to establish a technical committee so that we can put some folks to look at the existing ordinances between the cities and the county and look where there's opportunities for alignment and really to see how far apart we are on certain areas, and I think that'll be a good move. So I'll defer to the mayor to add anything that I may have missed from that meeting. Last night, we had our first public input session for the short-term rental ordinance development, hosted here in this building, but it's kind of centrally located in Ward 2. I think we probably had, Carrie's not here, 20-ish, maybe, yeah, 23. That's a good number, that came in, and so that was a really good first step, and I'm sure that the other wards, when they host their meetings, will have similar positive input from the residents and the owners and operators, managers for that development. And then last, my shameless plug, many of you know I'm heavily involved in the 4-H livestock use program here in Aransas County. We have over 50 kids that are currently raising livestock to show in our county show. We joined forces with the San Patricio County folks, and that show's coming up, and we'll kick off January 23rd. We'll go through the whole week with the auction sale on that Saturday. There's a lot more kids that do other than livestock. It's homemaking and cooking and just anything, working with your hands, welding, arts, the whole 9 yards. So we hope that everybody will come out and support our Aransas County youth. Although we'll be in Sinton, it is our county show. And that's also kind of my disclaimer for the 24th. So I will not be here. I will try to remote in, but I will be in a barn in Sinton with my kids. And I say my kids, not only my kid, but the other 50 kids that I help mentor for that program. So super excited about what our Aransas County youth are going to be doing soon.
Thank you. Ward 3.
Been kind of slow, Ward 3, start of the new year, 2023. Hope it's prosperous for everybody. I piggybacked on Councilwoman Hell's meeting last night. Just came to see what the format would be for the STRs, the short-term rental meetings. Ward 3 has ours on Thursday at 5:30 at the Allegro House in Key Allegro. So I'm sure that's going to be pretty well attended, and hope to get a lot of feedback from the residents, the stakeholders of both the owners of the houses and those who frequent them. Let's see, what else? I believe that's going to be about it for me.
Ward 4.
It's pretty quiet here. You guys had all the stuff going on in your guys' ward down there. Just New Year's. I don't have much else to say. I don't have an update on that. Do you have an update? Is it going? Hey, my drainage project is going well, and it's on schedule. And on budget, so that's good. Good job, Mike.
Attended a couple of meetings over the last couple of days. One of them was with Aransas Pathways, which has birding trails, kayaking places, and like that, and learned a lot from the folks on our committee about things that they're having real problems with. On the kayaking trails, the leadership of Aransas County people donated some fishing line collecting things to put fishing line in to keep animals from eating it and dying from consuming that stuff. And people are wrapping their lines around the post and around the thing so that the animals can still get to them, and they're not using them, and there's a lot of fishing line being put down there. If you happen to go to those places and you see those kind of things going on, the kayaking places, birding trail places, and there are maps that show you how to get to all the pathways places, if you go to those and you see that kind of thing going on, report it to the police, the Parks and Wildlife, to somebody, and let them know, because for one, it needs to be cleaned up before we have a lot of problems with the wildlife in our area. And for the other thing, they're also littering a whole lot, and like in a lot of places around the water, if you have receptacles for trash, people decide to put their fish parts and their deer parts and the deer skins and all that kind of thing in them, which makes it really nasty for people that try to use those for what they're actually designed and intended for. And I know that they have contacted the sheriff's office and the police department and whoever else they can get a hold of that might be able to help, to see if they can get some help with that mess. And it's difficult to clean some of that up. And if you're cleaning up week-old animal parts, well, it's not very good for your digestion that day. But anyway, there are problems going on. If you see it going on, report it, if you would, because there's a lot of that that's causing problems. They had a lot of pictures of it, and it's a mess out there. And it's a really good opportunity for people to get out in nature in our town, and it's great that the Pathways folks have done this. The other one that Danielle was speaking about, the Stormwater and Floodplain Management Group, one of the things that we heard about back during election time in May and before that was a lot of people have a lot of concerns about drainage in our county. And what I was hearing from some folks is that it doesn't appear that the entities try to work together, and that it would appear that they fight with each other more than they try to get anything done. And I would like to let you know that in the meetings that have been going on, and in the one today, there was evidence that there were people that want to work together to find a solution to the problems we have. And I think there is serious intention from the folks to try to do that. We want to put a group together for technical advisors and so forth. We have talked to the GLO that want to help us with policies and so forth to help get it done. But it is something that I believe you can see results coming, or you will soon be able to see them. In drainage in our area, one of the issues that we talked about briefly is how at times we seem to deal with particular drainage issues without concern for whether it causes problems at another place down the road. And if we can get an overall master drainage plan designed that fits the county and the NAV district and the city and the town of Fulton and everybody else that has anything to do with land and so forth, it would be a tremendous benefit for our community, and I think we owe it to our community to do that. So I think there's good work being done in that direction, and I think you will be able to see in the not too distant future some real good things going on with our drainage problems in our county, and we do have them. Anything that's on the coast, we have drainage trouble. I don't have anything else.
I have oh, by the way.
Yes, ma'am, go
I
right ahead.
hope everybody bought their lottery ticket for tonight. I have 5. They're sitting at home waiting for me. So, it's over $1 billion.
And you can't win if you don't go buy a ticket.
That's right. You can't
All
win if
right.
you don't play.
City Council will hold an executive session pursuant to the provision of Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code in accordance with the authority contained in Section 551.072, deliberation regarding real property, deliberate purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property. A 20-foot wide alleyway lying between lots 1 through 3 and lots 9 through 11, block 108, Manning Addition, City of Rockport, Aransas County, Texas. B, a 40-foot wide platted, unimproved right-of-way located between blocks 21 and 22 of the TP McCampbell Subdivision, being 0.893 acres, City of Rockport, Aransas County, Texas. And C, a 40-foot wide platted, unimproved right-of-way located between blocks 20 and 21, TP McCampbell Subdivision, being 2.277 acres, City of Rockport, Aransas County, Texas. Now, number 14, Section 551.071, consultations with attorneys seeking the advice of attorney about pending or contemplated litigation or a settlement offer, and on a matter in which the city attorney, the governmental body under the Texas Disciplinary Rules of Professional Conduct of the State Bar of Texas, clearly conflicts with this chapter. Burnside Service, number 1, Burnside Services, Inc., number 2, Concho Street Drainage Project, and number 3, Barack Kumar Patel and Koki Murari Patel versus the City of Rockport. We are in executive session. PM. We're back in general session. Item number 16, 15. You sure I'm right? Go back to the front. Those of you doing it on a computer, you have to worry on it. I do.
15.
It's simple. 15. Yes. Item number 15. This was postponed from December the 13th. Deliberate and act on first reading of an ordinance authorizing the closing and vacating and abandonment of a 20-foot alleyway lying between lots 1 through 3 and lots 9 through 11, block 118, Manning Addition, City of Rockport, Aransas County, Texas, providing for the terms and conditions of such vacation and abandonment, authorizing the mayor to execute a quitclaim deed for the 20-foot wide alleyway to be closed, vacated, and abandoned, and providing for an effective date. Go ahead.
I move to approve item 15 as presented and accepted.
I have a motion and second. Any further question or discussion? Not call for a vote. Ward 1?
Aye.
Ward 2?
Aye.
Ward 3?
Aye.
Ward 4?
Aye.
Mayor, aye. Item number 16, postponed from December 13th, 2022. Deliberate and act on first reading of an ordinance authorizing the closing, vacating, and abandonment of a 40-foot wide platted, unimproved right-of-way located between blocks 21 and 22, TP McCampbell Subdivision, being 0.893 acres, City of Rockport, Aransas County, Texas, providing for the terms and conditions of such vacation and abandonment, authorizing the mayor to execute a quitclaim deed for the 40-foot wide platted, unimproved right-of-way to be closed, vacated, and abandoned, and providing for an effective date.
Motion to approve agenda item 16 as presented.
I have a motion, to have a second. I have a motion and second. Any further discussion? Call for vote. Ward 1.
Aye.
Ward 2.
Aye.
Ward 3.
Aye.
Ward 4.
Aye.
Mayor, aye. Item number 17, postponed from December 13th, 2022. Deliberate and act on the first reading of an ordinance authorizing the closing, vacating, and abandonment of a 40-foot wide platted, unimproved right-of-way located between blocks 20 and 21, TP McCampbell Subdivision, being 2.277 acres, City of Rockport, Aransas County, Texas, providing for the terms and conditions of such vacation and abandonment, authorizing the mayor to execute a quitclaim deed for the 40-foot wide platted, unimproved right-of-way to be closed, vacated, and abandoned, and providing an effective date. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve item 17 as presented and accepted.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion or debate? Call for a vote. Ward 1.
Aye.
Ward 2.
Aye.
Ward 3.
Aye.
Ward 4.
Aye.
Mayor, aye. Having no,
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
I have a motion second to adjourn. We're
Second.
adjourned.